episode of the Dirter Headshot. For this episode, we head to Sydney, Australia for the 2012 Super 7 Series Masters. Our first featured team is Explicit, who started their day against Eastside Raw. Explicit had imported Bobby Aviles to help them out for the tournament, while Eastside Raw had a couple guest Millennium players come all the way from Europe. Jake the Trouser Snake Spencer dominated the Snake in this match.
Just got done playing our first game against East Coast Raw. I got some good friends on the team, so I knew it was going to be a fun match regardless. Had a pretty good idea of what they were going to do, so we formulated our game plan around what we thought they were going to do.
Raw almost had a point, but hit in the back of the head, red flag, no point for you. Explicit gets the win. In round 2, Explicit faced Melbourne Hustle. Winning their first round match against Uprising, Hustle started out the first point, clearing out the Snake side, and then quickly closing the game up the middle. Unfortunately for them, their streak ended there. Bobby Aviles turned it on and began eating up Hustle through the middle of the field. Hustle sent Ben Fifield to the Snake on the majority of the points, but he couldn't live long enough to break open the game. Explicit wins their second game, 4-1. Round 3, Explicit goes up against Menace. I guess. We'll say Menace. Menace brought over Ryan Greenspan from San Diego Dynasty, as well as Marcelo Margot from Moscow Red Legion. In a close match, teams traded out points. Explicit started out the first point with a win down the Snake side. Then Menace followed it up with Adam Kavanaugh getting out to the corner and helping Marcelo do a nice run through and give Jake a couple of love taps to the dome.
My name's Justin and played for Menace. We just played Explicit, really tough game. It ended up being a draw 2-all. Tough grind, Bobby was killing out there. Brian was running down, killing people, but it just ran out of time.
With time winding down, Marcelo gets a couple kills up the middle, but doesn't have enough time to put a final point on the board. They tie this game at 2 apiece. The round 4 match for Explicit was against NZ Plague, who was new to the Super 7 series and had a little difficulty with the basics, like the buzzer. Plague did manage to put 1 point on the board with a good move down the Snake side. However, the game was mostly one-sided. Explicit gets another win, 3-1. The last game of the day for Explicit is against Uprising A. Explicit started the game getting the first 2 points, but Uprising turned it around, getting their lanes adjusted, and then coming back to take a 3-2 victory. Our next featured team is Sydney SWAT, who started out their day against Hostile Intentions. Both these teams have been consistent in placing at the top of the Super 7 Series events. The game started out with SWAT getting a few quick kills, and Matt Roberts closing out on the Dorito side. The next point, the momentum shifted heavily in Hostile's favor, and SWAT would be on the heels for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, we had a pretty good start, but then we just we held back a bit too much. We were letting them take the ground early, getting shot out of our primaries. Our communication was lacking a little bit. Like, we just got to get used to this field, but we've got 6 more games and prelims to go, so hopefully we should get it done.
Got smashed in the first point. I smashed it in like 20-30 seconds, just annihilated. Went back in, didn't really switch much up, but just focused on what we were doing, and then managed to pull out 4 straight points and win 4-1. They were all tight battles, like between us and SWAT all year. It's just been on, so nothing to disappoint. It's only a prelim. We'll see him again later on in the tournament, and then it'll be on for something that game's not really much. So.
SWAT starts their day off with a painful 4-1 loss. SWAT's day did not improve with the next round. They faced off against the new team NZ Plague and failed to capitalize on Plague's inexperience of this division. In this back and forth duel, both teams were getting kills off the break and took turns getting down the field. Points were scored quickly, and with time winding down, the score was tied at 3-all. In the final point, SWAT had all the momentum and took down Plague. But after they hit the buzzer, SWAT is awarded a gun penalty, and Plague gets the swing point. Losing the first 2 rounds, SWAT finally turned it around as they went up against Uprising A. Uprising had a great start to their day with 2 wins. They put up a good fight against SWAT, but couldn't overcome SWAT's ability to get out to the corners and shut them down.
In the end, it's a pretty good game. Came down to they ended up running down the field in the end, but just ran into us. We got wide in the beginning and just took the points.
I think in the early points we got pinched out. They got wide early on us, pinched us out on the back. Got a couple of points back. It's always good playing them, but we've got to go back to school and work out what we need to do against them again.
SWAT gets their first win on the day. The rest of the day was not much of a challenge for SWAT. In round 4, they went up against Eastside Raw. Charging down the field at will, SWAT had great success getting kills on the break and cleaning up through the center. Here's an example on how not to slide. Raw doesn't put up any points and SWAT takes another win. In round 5, SWAT continued their win streak as they faced Team Kiwi. Kiwi had some success throughout the day charging down the Dorito side, but SWAT had their lanes up and only allowed them to score 1 point.
We just played Team Kiwi, so the guys travelled all the way from New Zealand over to play. Yeah, it was a pretty by the books game. We just had the lanes up off the break, managed to get 1 or 2 quick Gs, and then power down the snake before they could. We let it go in one game. We let the guy just, one of their players just run down the snake unchecked, and he managed to shoot 4 of us, I think. So the boys recovered from that, and yeah, we ended up pulling it through.
A few bonus balls from Ben Simpson, SWAT gets the 4-1 victory. Our next featured team is Hostile Intentions. Hostile took down SWAT in round 1 and played Eastside Raw in round 2. This was probably the fastest game of the day. Hostile put on the pressure and Raw had no answer.
We just played Eastside Raw from Queensland and we beat them down 4-0. The key strengths to our win in that game was pushing up through the snake side and pushing hard down the Dorito side at the same time. As soon as they dropped their guns off one side of the field, the other side of our field just went down and mowed them to bits. It was over pretty quickly and it was enjoyable.
Hostile gives Raw the skunk. In round 3, Hostile went up against Melbourne Hustle. After losing to Explicit in round 2, Hustle were hoping to turn things around and continue their winning streak. Unfortunately for them, Hostile Intentions were on their game and Hustle could not keep up with them.
Played Hustle, beat them 4-0. They're not one of the top teams there, but we're trying to keep our momentum rolling, game plan going, so that was a good win, but the team's going to get harder as the time progresses.
They easily get their 3rd win. Round 4 wasn't much different for Hostile Intentions. Team Kiwi already had 2 losses on the day, and Hostile happily helped them get their 3rd. Twice Kiwi had problems timing their breakout, and both times it cost them. Devin Stutz from Die cruising through and mops up 3 guys for 1 point. Kiwi had almost no success in the snake, especially if you try to run down Maka and then stop in the knuckle before you get to him. Not a smart move. For the third game in a row, Hostile Intentions puts up another shutout, 4-0. The last game of the day for Hostile Intentions would be their only difficult one. In round 5, they placed Menace, or Ekonom, or whatever. The game started out with Hostile Intentions' Damien Anever getting a hit on his feed neck during the breakout. He doesn't notice, but the ref does, and he gets a minor penalty. Devin Stutz tries to fill out, but Menace is waiting, and they lose their first point. The next point was also a quick one, with Menace's Matt Story shooting out the corner on the break, and then Ryan Greenspan takes off down the Doritos. A few parting gifts, and Hostile loses another point. It looked like Menace was going to run away with this one. In the next point, Hostile Intentions loses a couple bodies off the break, and Devin Stutz is all alone in the snake. It's very sad. Adam Kavanaugh takes him out, and Marcelo goes for the buzzer. However, something's not right, and the refs are upset. Playing on, overshooting, I don't know, but the point is a reversal. The next couple points go back and forth. In one instance, Matt Story gives Devin Stutz 9 reasons to why being the last guy sucks. With Menace winning 3-2, there were 7 seconds left in the game. No problem, right? You don't even have to shoot your gun. Well, Hostile hits pay dirt because at some point, Matt Story gets shot in the face and shoots his gun. Hostile gets another swing point, and the game ends up being a 3-3 tie. Hostile gets 4 wins and 1 tie on the day. At the end of Saturday, here are your standings for the Pro Division. This headshot was made possible by Action Paintball, the best fields and selection in Australia. Check them out at actionpaintball.com. Also by paintballshop.com. From guns to gears and accessories, paintballshop.com has everything you need for your paintball obsession. If you want to see more Dirter headshots, head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/dirterpaintball. Thanks for watching.